so I don't know if you just want a free roll or if you want me to ask just free will or you want me to ask some questions.
Yeah, ask me what, whatever you.
Okay, so I guess can you give can you give a quick overview on what Robin Hooding is?
Sure. Robin Hooding's been going on here in Keene for years. It was started by Lauren Cario. I don't even know when. It must have been 07 or 08 or something like that. And the idea was to go downtown and rescue people from the King's Ransom. It's essentially prevent parking enforcement from writing tickets in the first place by finding expired meters before the enforcer can reach the expired meter, and then putting a coin in said meter to make sure there's time on the meter. That way, that when the enforcer gets there, they can't write the ticket. So that went on. Lauren created that. She came up with a fun little letter that she would leave on the cars, and other people were inspired to kind of do the same thing and help her with that. She was replaced by Sean Murphy, and then later on Jason Repshire came to town, and so there's just been this long line of people. I mean, I'm barely scratching the surface of people who've been involved to some extent or another over the years. And then when James Cleveland moved here, he really wanted to take Robin Hooding. I don't know what inspired him, but it's an inspiring form of activism. He wanted to take it to the next level, and so he did that and brought people on board who are really more dedicated to the craft, if you will, of Robin Hooding, literally doing it every single day. And I think it got to, it may still be at the point of them being out there almost as many hours as the parking enforcers themselves. So it's really ramped up a lot for the last several months, and it's been a form of activism that has been particularly, I think, effective in doing outreach to people in the community who, maybe they've heard things about free staters or the free keeners or whatever, and maybe they've heard negative things, but then they come out and they find on their card this little card with a picture of Disney's Robin Hood on it, and on the back side it says that you can save from getting a ticket, and people appreciate that. So if you go to the Robin Hood of Keene Facebook page, you'll see all kinds of like checks, and cash, and gift cards, and things that people, actual cards that people have written, sent in the mail, or just handed them on the street, just money that people would otherwise have given to the state. They'll give sometimes as much as they would give to the state to the Robin Hood people. Sometimes they'll give more than they would have given to the state to the Robin Hood people. Sometimes less. But people are really showing their appreciation for this, and I think that it's a tremendous success. Just even if it were just that alone, it would be a tremendous success. But it's also a big success because now in the city's own paperwork, it's acknowledged that they're writing a significant amount fewer tickets, like a noticeable amount fewer. And so it's a win from that perspective, in that not only are you generating good feelings with the community, with a lot of the people in the community, but you're also stopping a significant amount of people from actually receiving the tickets, and that's hurting the revenue of the state.
So what's the end goal for Robin Hooding?
The dismantlement of the parking enforcers, I would guess, or the department in that case. I think that the only people that like parking enforcement are the people that work for parking enforcement or the city bureaucrats, and not even all of them like it.
Let's see, what do you think about, I don't know, I guess, I'm trying to think what ground, I'm trying to think of like everyone I'm going to interview and what they're going to cover, because I think James will be good with numbers and stuff. I guess, talk about the history.
Lawsuit.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the lawsuit. Yeah, I guess what's your reaction to, okay, what's your reaction to the paperwork that you received yesterday?
I guess we kind of expected this might be a possibility where the city of Keene, people calling themselves the city, have decided they're going to bring a suit against the people that they can identify as active Robin Hooders. And you and I were included in that suit, Pete, and I might have been out there 3 times in the last 3 months. I don't know how many times you've been out, but not very many. And so they targeted approximately 6 activists with what is, at this point in time, just a petition where they're asking the court to create a safety zone, as it's called, a 50 50-foot safety zone that will always be around the parking enforcers, and we would not be allowed to be within that 50-foot zone, nor would anyone who's under our direct supervision, control, employment, or whatever. So it's a ridiculous lawsuit. It's an outrageous insult to the idea of, you know, accountable government and constitutional rights and all that. I just recently got out of a court case because of a great attorney, John Meyer out of Manchester, who helped me, Kelly Voluntarist, beat some trespassing orders, and you were also included in that same trespassing order. The case was against me and Kelly because we had actually violated the order, allegedly. It turned out that was an unconstitutional order. And the thing that they were claiming about those trespass orders, the state was saying, well, you guys were harassing the employees, so that's why we put this order out there. But the judge found that that was unconstitutional. So here they are again, trying the same tactic of saying, you're harassing, you're threatening, harassing, intimidating, words like this. They're throwing them around, and I'm sorry, asking people questions on the street isn't harassing, and it's not intimidating, and especially not so if they're government employees supposedly publicly accountable to individuals in the so-called public. So I think we're well within our rights to do these things. I don't think that Robin Hooders are on the streets intimidating or threatening or doing anything like that to these people. I think they're way blowing whatever's going on out of proportion. When I've been out there and I've seen people do this, they've been nothing but courteous to these to the folks that are doing the parking enforcing. So I think that their claims, first of all, are nonsense. But even if it were true that Robin Hooders were out there haranguing and being nasty toward these people, it's interestingly, in the actual lawsuit paperwork, in the attachments, they have statements from the enforcers. But before they have the statements from the enforcers, they actually have the job description, the official City of Keene job description for parking enforcement. And one of the provisions toward the very end is that they have to be willing to put up with basically really nasty behavior from people saying horrible things to them. They have to be willing to weather that, because it's inevitably going to be part of their job. When their job is to aggress against peaceful people, people are going to get upset about that. And so it's right there in their own employee guidebook that they're supposed to put up with this stuff. And so I think their case is ridiculous, but I don't think that'll stop the judge from issuing the injunction. We'll see how that goes.
So are you happy with this level of service being afforded to you?
No, not at all. And in fact, hopefully I'll stop paying for it soon, because I'm sick and tired of it. I'm tired of being forced to pay to put my friends in jail, and I'm tired of being forced to pay to aggress against peaceful people, and I think it needs to stop. And it's not going to stop by people begging, at least anytime soon. So I think people just need to stop participating in it, or at least funding it.
So I think there's a lot of useful stuff. I'm happy with your goal. Thanks.